Bum, bum, bum.
Agreed.
This is gonna be fun.
So, I'm looking into stuff on turn 7, specifically on the Renads. One thing I can note is that even though Tismir said they can't be bound, you can bind them.
That would be helpful. I thought you couldn't. I thought you could only slow them, but the slow, in addition to the other slow, would in effect bind them.
No, I was gonna say, I'm rewatching the one video that I had used before, because I remembered them standing in one spot before being
Symmetry in all things.
voiced. And the Bard in this applied the bind. I can see the bind debuff being applied to the Renard, and I can see it standing there for 1, 2, 3, stoned. No movement whatsoever.
Nice.
And there's a second cut from another one that they placed in position, and it sat there for 2 seconds without moving. So they can be bound in place, and from what I can see, I mean, we're going to use about the same positioning, but we can go more towards the center of the room for the Renauds like that, because all he has to do is kite them to that location and then bind them in place. And then everyone just has to loosely stack up towards the middle of the room in between the boss and the Renaud to be able to avoid it.
Remain focused.
See, the one problem that I'm thinking he might be having is that I think he might be attacking the Renaud almost the entire time he's kiting it around. Because if he tried to bind it and he was still attacking it, it would just break it right away.
Whatever's necessary.
I was not watching it, but I would imagine that's what happened. That's good, because that would free him up to actually DPS the boss.
Yeah,
Which I don't think he's been doing.
Yeah, he should be the entire time. There's no point. Every single hit he applies to them is wasted.
Yeah, that is pertinent information.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell him. I told him, what, 2 or 3 times to just use Blunt Arrow on them?
Yes, use your blunt arrow off the global and focus, yeah. Yeah, you did.
So now I said at least 2 or 3 times, because I'm saying, like, no, it's not a lot of damage, just use that so you get off the global, instantly get aggro, then you don't have to worry about applying aggro, then just right back and just rape the boss. Just do your thing while you kite it into position. Because this makes it easier, because now he doesn't have to worry about where he's running. He can kite it to the same position, the healers know exactly which direction they need to be firing, and he can move in with the rest of the raid and be out of the line of fire.
An enemy has been slain.
When you were watching the video, did you see where the shrieked person went in regards to the hitbox of the Renaud?
Yes, they went slightly back behind what I would assume would be the actual...
Has been slain.
So let's see.
An ally has been slain.
I
Yeah,
missed tech.
Yeah, that is my go-to for videos. Yeah, actually they're fairly far back. Like if you see like their shadow, they're actually like 3 or 4 steps out from that. Because the way the video has it set is that like their position for actually dropping the Renauds is just outside the innermost red circle. So there's like the 3 red rings, the outermost, the middle one, and the other one. They have it placed right at the edge. And then that person basically stands almost towards the back of the room, from what it looks like.
And then everybody else stacks in the middle.
Yeah, everyone else groups up towards the middle of the room.
Mark acquired.
Because there's a ton of room. Like, our people spread out way too much, is part of our problem.
We travel the same path.
Ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
We can definitely keep ourselves more compact.
Yeah.
You can move like a quarter over towards the side where the Renault's going to be placed. Healers stay in the middle. Talon can keep the ad like towards the middle in that middle ring, but
Yeah.
yeah, we can just kind of bunch up in one little area.
Yeah, everyone
Not
just...
stacked, obviously, because there are too many circle AoEs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just to be far enough to keep that from being an issue.
Hesitation is the seed of defeat.
Once we get that down, we should move to the next phase pretty effortlessly.
Yeah, also, they tank the ads directly on the boss. Pretty much, from what it
Remain
looks like.
focused.
Since you're already not taking any damage, I guess it's not a big deal to have both frontal cleaves on you.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I already kind of tank in a position that would make it ideal for that anyway, because I tank on an angle, well, I was tanking on an angle, so I could make sure to try and get out of that circle cleave, but I don't like that it keeps moving the boss, because it's hard to get back in time if she doesn't cast right afterwards. So I can go on one catacorner angle, and he can go on the other, and then we'll only eat our own
Hesitation is
cleaves
the
like
seed
that.
of defeat.
Yeah, it'll be like tanking Ifrit Extreme.
Yeah.
Very nice. That's good, because Talon takes the ad off in Timbuktu, and then if I get Curse Shriek, I have to run all the way across the room.
Yeah, that's the other reason why I wanted. That's why when I was telling him before, like, no, like, just tank them close. Like, they don't need to be far away from the boss.
Symmetry in all
Because you
things.
shouldn't need to run across the room to really be dealing with the boss. Because occasionally they have them, like, away from the boss, but I don't see a reason for us to
Honor
move it
is the
away.
blade edge.
The only time I would have to move are for the ranged ads, because they're stationary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from what it seems like, as long as they have the Renaud placed, like, right at that inner ring, if the person stands just outside of the hitbox, which if it's placed right on the mark, right by that inner ring, is like standing on the second ring. It really doesn't hit anywhere within that first circle, the main, like, the middle circle. So the middle red circles don't really get affected as long as they stand like that. Because I can see somebody standing on the edge of that ring as it explodes on each side, and it didn't do anything.
Remain focused.
Awesome.
So that gives us the entire middle of the room, and then some, to be able to fight in if we place everything properly.
We travel the same path. Whatever's necessary.
Oh, they finally put up turn 4. I was wondering what was taking them so long.
Through
They put it up
Twilight's
yesterday. Damn. That does not fill me with confidence.
I like this. Akali jungle's pretty fun.
unnecessary sacrifice. Deftly I travel.
I really think this should be a very fast turn.
We travel the
Your
same
team
path.
has destroyed a turret.
Turn 8 is going to take forever, but turn 7, there's not much to it.
No,
New
like I said,
Twilight's
that's
there.
why I was even saying while we were doing the runs on it was just no, like we just need to work on these mechanics. They're all pretty much the same mechanics throughout the whole fight, so like once we get down the voices and the shrieks, then pretty much just talent needs to know how to pick up the ads. And then people need to know
Yeah,
how
he's
to turn
got to work
away.
on that.
Yeah.
Understood.
I was gonna say, I think he gets distracted trying to deal with other stuff and making sure he's on point for that, so he doesn't concentrate on like, because he's like autopilot, like okay, I'm just kind of DPSing the boss, and then ads pop, and he's
Another
like,
unworthy
well,
opponent.
because the other thing is, I'm gonna have to make sure to go over where they spawn and everything with him.
Yeah, I just kind of rushed through that.
Symmetry in all things.
Well, to be
Definitely,
honest,
I
considering our like few attempts the other night, I was like, oh, we might not even get to the ads. I don't even know. Like let's just get in and go at it and see what we can do.
Agreed.
We can get stoned. That's what we can do. I don't know. What the fuck?
Oh, I know. I was gonna say for some of those, like I was like, what? Well, this isn't hard. Like I don't understand. 'Cause that's the only thing that worried me. I was like, okay, everyone's tired. Like on Wednesday, I was like, maybe they're tired. They don't really feel like doing this. Like whatever. They're not paying attention. Tonight, I'm not really sure.
Remain focused.
They got better toward the end, but still, we got stoned like 4 times.
I know. I did find it kind of funny when Charlie and Tina were like, "Oh no, Tina's faced away and her thing went off to the side. I don't know how to hit you guys." I watched her staring at us and it just nailed us. And I'm like, she didn't move shit. Like I don't know if she's
Yeah, she
lagging
did.
or what, but because every time I've done it, if it goes off in that direction, like I mean, I don't even wait. The
Symmetry
instant
in
that
all
ground starts
things.
turning white, I turn around and start wailing on the boss again. So I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but you just drilled us, like, flat out, didn't try to move. Like, I didn't see her face away. She was looking at us, and I didn't realize she had the debuff, and she nailed us, and I was like, okay. And Charlie's like, oh yeah, I saw
Yeah.
her screen. She was facing away. I saw it hit the other side. I'm like, okay, that doesn't explain why we got fucking
Understood.
drilled.
Yeah. On my screen, she didn't even turn around.
That's what I mean. I never saw her face away. She was facing us the entire time, and then the thing
Yeah.
went off, and it hit
In
us.
fact, she wasn't even healing. She wasn't even moving on my screen, to be a fact. And as a matter of fact, like at all.
I was gonna say, I'm like 100% sure she just wasn't paying attention at all, and they were just trying to cover it up, which doesn't make any sense. If you fuck up, just own up to it.
Yeah.
If I was tanking and I forgot to fucking face away and I fucking stoned the whole fucking raid, I'd be like, guys, I fucked up.
Unnecessary sacrifice.
You know that, but I'm just admitting to it right now. I fucked up.
That's one thing I love about Talon. He is completely unfazed by his mistakes. And they happen less and less, but when they do, he's just like, yeah, man, I screwed up, sorry.
Yeah, he's like, I
Every
fucked up,
time.
guys. And it's just like, dude, like, it's cool, like, it
I
happens.
can't be mad at you.
Yeah, really.
Well, that's the thing, like, he's completely new to tanking. I'm pretty sure he's fairly new to MMOs, so it's like, there's a lot of things where I know there's going to be a learning curve. And he plays on a PS3. Like, there is a few handicaps on his plate that he needs to work around and adjust to.
I think recently, since Twin Tanya, I think I've been doing a lot better with everything, for the most part. At least getting down mechanics pretty quickly and stuff.
Yeah, you didn't really struggle with turn 6 at all. You didn't stone me in turn 7, so you're doing better than half the other raid.
Deftly I
The only reason I'd stoned anyone is because we were wiping.
Yeah.
It's the one time where I didn't know, I thought it was a voice, not Shriek.
honor. Agreed.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Whatever's necessary. Tread lightly. Without question. Understood. We travel the same.
Enemy has been slain.
Hesitation is the seed of defeat. Through Twilight's veil. Remain focused.
Really, this doesn't start getting challenging until the final phase with Petrifaction. And as long as we
Yeah.
treat it just like Bouquet and everybody knows to face away, this fight's easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like I said, really it's just, once you get the shrieks and the voices down, like, there's just, you just kind of kill some ads and then face away from another ad that also needs to die, and then once that's dead, good game. Like, there's nothing dangerous. The actual, like, the purple pain pools, no, that's not even really a mechanic, come on.
Yeah.
The other ads aren't a big deal.
Only if you're stupid and stand them the entire time.
Well, they explode and they'll kill you if they explode, but otherwise, like, they don't do that much damage if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
in them when they pop up. Like, that's not a big
Symmetry in
deal.
all
Just
things.
it just eliminates some of the board for you.
Mm-hmm.
This fight is just about positioning, making sure the Renads are being dealt with properly, and then just murking the boss.
In my head, I'm already in turn 3. This fight is like a non-issue.
Deftly
No, I
travel.
know.
Well, I don't know about that. That whole Morty in turn 3 part.
In my head, I'm
Yeah.
focusing on the next
Game
turn.
is
This
so
one is
easy.
just, it's nothing.
Yeah, no,
It's a
nothing
pain
in this
in the
fight
ass.
that's difficult.
It really is.
Tread lightly.
No, the biggest thing is it's really not. Like there's such a separation of duties for almost every single effect that goes into this fight that it almost doesn't matter. Like when I call out voice, you have the debuff to check your timer, face away. If I call out shriek, see if you got the debuff. If you got the debuff, get behind the Renaud. The Renaud's, nobody pays attention to them except for Tizmir. Tizmir will decide which ones get broken, which ones don't. Healers, he just has to bind them in place. Healers will have forever. They just have to wait for their voice to go off. They just have to face towards him and keep healing. They don't have to pay attention to that.
Hesitation is the
Talon
seed
just
of
needs to
the
pick up 3 ads, and then everyone needs to DPS 4 ads at 60%. And then he just needs to pick up the Prosecutor, put it in the middle, and then people just need to watch for the cast bar. Which pretty much everyone will be DPSing it, and they just need to not be facing it. Like, it's not like on Rafflesia where you're DPSing other stuff during that phase. Like, that is the other thing you're DPSing. So, we don't have to worry about the DPS. Healers just need to be mindful, and then I'm going to have it focus targeted, and I'm going to be fine. And Talon will be tanking it.
I got too
So there
cocky
shouldn't
there.
be there's nothing that's like complicated about this. It's just a little bit of coordination and muscle memory, pretty much.
To me, this is a fight that belonged in the first coil.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the way I kind of look at it. Like considering some of the fights that I've done in other MMOs and even fights in this, like it's just like no, there's really not a lot to this.
remain
Like
focused.
everyone has like 2 or 3 things that they kind of need to pay attention to occasionally, and then like you're fine if you can do that.
Disconnected.
Deftly I travel.
14 and 3, man. He's winning.
Victory!